body, get moving, so you can make your day a little more alert and alive. So in this one, it's a little more intense, a little more stretchy, and at the end of it, we always dance. This is a dance channel, so we're working on our merengue and some body mechanics. So we're going to do I've got some new exercises for us today because I'm always learning too. We had a student yesterday, and I was trying to figure out what would help him with his movement. So we're going to be trying some of those out. So gluing your feet to the floor, and I want you to feel your entire foot stuck to the floor. The tips of your toes, the middle of your toes, the balls of your feet, arches, the outside of your foot, your heels, all suction to the ground, and roots are growing into the ground. So if a breeze blew your tree trunk from here down, it would only affect your top part. And breathing in and out a couple times in through your nose. And out through your mouth, feeling your body relax a little bit. And breath. And now you're going to loosen. I call it loosening, meaning you're just kind of letting them go so they're not straight, but they're not bent either. And loosening. And straightening back up. Loosening. And straightening. And loosening. Straightening. And loosening. And straightening. Just giving them that initial movement. And arms going up. And arms going down. Arms going up. Arms going down. And coming back down. And moving up your body. Nodding. This is way at the top of your neck. So your neck stays straight. It's just a head that's bobbing like a bobblehead. And shaking mood. Going back to the middle and tilting from side to side. So again, like somebody's going to walk with a tap. And your ears are going to your shoulders. These are all gentle, these are all small. And they're right at the top of your neck. Going back to neutral. Sinking your chin down. And without coming up, feel like you've got weights in your chin. And roll one ear to your shoulder. And you still got weights in your chin, so your chin will bring you back to the middle. And then you're going to roll to the other side. And back and forth. Feeling that heavy chin. Weighing down. Try and breathe as you do this one, so you're relaxing. And back to the middle. And coming up and looking to the sky. And down. And looking to the sky. And down. Let's add arms. Stretching up to the sky. Down. Up to the sky. So we're going to do a small knee bend. So this is not your capacity. Hi, Lynn. Good morning. So, but I want you to think about as you're bending your knees, engaging the muscles of your legs, kind of tightening them up before you start to bend. And when you're bending them, think about your knees going straight over your feet. So our knees hate anything that puts them out of alignment. They want to go in one direction, so they'll go in, they'll go out. Try and concentrate on those knees going straight over your feet when we're coming up. I'm sorry, I'm still sick, so Inhale, push into the ground like you're pushing the ground away from you. You're going to feel heavy. Pushing the ground away from you, just stand up again. And again, these are not your full capacity bend, these are small to medium. So, engaging your legs, knees going over your feet, and pushing the ground away to stand up. Engaging your legs, knees going over your feet, pushing the ground to come back up. Engaging your legs, knees going over your feet, pushing the ground to come back up. Engaging your legs, knees going over your feet, and pushing the ground to come back up. Engaging your legs, knees going over your feet, and pushing the ground to come back up. And a little shake, and then you're loosening your knees a little bit, and you're gonna tighten like you're bowing over your waist, and then you're gonna stretch to come up. And tightening. And stretching. Tightening. And stretching. Tightening. And stretching. And tightening. And stretching. And tightening. And stretching. Thank you all for all the love. Thank you. I'm so glad you're all here. This is like the best part of the day now. It's gonna have this little party here, right? Gets me going, helps gets all you on with your day. We're all happier. Lengthening as you come up. And last one. We got this. Yay. All right, that's over. Shake out. Okay, so stepping forward and shifting your weight onto your front foot. Again, every time you're going down, try and just remember that the knee is going over your foot. So this one depends on you, how far you're going to go. You feel a stretch in your back leg as you move your weight to the front. And you can also gently rock them down. And pressing to the ground with that front leg to come up, and your weight's going to be in the middle. Again, think about those knees going over your feet each time you bend. And you should feel a different stretch in your back. As you come up, I want you to press into the ground. Thanks, Sono. And as you come up, I want you to feel a diagonal. As you come up, your weight is shifting onto your front leg. And your back leg is resting on the balls of your feet. And then we're going to lean back. No, I didn't do yoga. These exercises are, they're kind of something I've developed for myself over the years because I remember somebody saying to me, like, if you're giving a class, do kind of, what you would do to, either warm up or develop something. So I found out what helps me, and I find very often that it's the same thing that helps other people too. Thanks, Lynn, you too. And coming back up, and then we're going to switch it now. A little shake in between. As a lot of these things are like trial and error, and of course you can't do everything every day, so you have to decide like what's the most important and what's the most kind of productive as far as body. Okay, shifting your weight on your front leg and letting your back leg stretch out behind you. So this is just kind of my own journey into, so I was a ballerina back when, and now I'm more of a kind I still teach dance, but more of a Latin social dance. So it's a completely different direction. It's a little more, is it a little more free? It's dance that's meant for fun, and you know, you're always striving to be better, but not necessarily that kind of crazy perfection. So, but I'm developing my body in different ways than I was before, so it also requires kind of different movements. Pressing to the ground, and your right is going to come to the middle, raise your feet, and remembering that your knees are going over your feet as you sink down, and you're going to feel a stretch, and that back leg. I like to work up and down a little bit. For me, it does because, so with joints, if you stop moving them, especially with the ground, that back foot, and your weight is shifting towards your front foot, and it's going to move over your feet, they can definitely stiffen up if you don't keep them moving, so that is a big part of it, but also developing the muscles that help you keep that alignment, so if you develop those muscles, it creates less pressure on those joints. It like enhances productivity, if you will. You are both keeping them moving and moving them more efficiently. So, for posture, yes, we're going to be doing our shoulder rolls. We can do them right after this. I'm always happy to do posture things. Okay, spreading leg and shaking out. Okay, so with posture, let's try this exercise. We're just going to let our shoulders slope forward, relax your upper body, and rolling them back. But I want you to feel like your chest is pointing up to the sky. And scoot forward and rolling back. And as you go throughout your day, every time you think of it, I want you to just take your shoulders and roll them back and feel like you're just moving up to the sky. Yeah, I guess so. So let's slices of bread, something in the middle. Fair enough. So you find, if you're not thinking about it at the second, you're going to relax into your usual, however it is that you stand. But then you're going to remember it, say, oh, roll them back. And that's slowly but surely going to increase your muscle memory. So if you think about rolling your shoulders back every time, you'll be surprised at how much more often you're going to start thinking of it, and your body's going to remember that. And that can and will improve your posture, because a lot of this kind of forward slumping, it's muscular. It's not actually your skeleton that is bringing you forward. And of course, any kind of aging our shoulders are going to want to pull forward and meet in the center. So this is something you really want to be conscious of, start working on. It doesn't matter at what point you are in your life, to roll them back and be conscious and train those muscles to pull your shoulders back, so you can start to put the brakes on that forward shoulder slide. All right, coming back to the middle. So again, rolling your feet to the floor and keeping the bottom half super sturdy, and trying to move just your top half from side to side, while keeping the bottom half still. I'm sorry, I'm still coughing. I cannot shake this for some reason. Taking all kinds of vitamins, and it just seems to be hanging on. And let's do a bigger bend now. in like many different parts of my body. It does happen, especially, in ballet. Wow, you're putting a lot of pressure on that. Coming back up. And your left leg in, and I want you to like hinge right at your hips, and try and keep your back flat. So only go as far as you can keep your back flat, starts to bend, come back up. Yes, I pulled quite a few muscles. The best thing for that is, of course, rest, and I know it's frustrating, but if you pain somewhere and towards the end of like the career, I kind of trained myself to do that because, of course, the worst thing is like stopping. But when I felt a twinge, I was like, okay, get off it, stop. Because the more you push it, you can be sure that that injury is going to get worse. So you have to pull off it, give it a little bit of rest. At the same time, do some gentle movements just so it doesn't start to stiffen up. But really don't be tempted to keep going because it's just going to prolong that injury. As frustrating as it is, you do have to give your body time. Our bodies are fallible, and it's just one of those things. Unfortunately, that happens. She came out. And come back to the middle. Hi, Snow. So, gluing our feet to the floor again. And you're going to have a little bit of a knee bend. And I talk continuously on this channel about our square. That is our shoulders and our hips. So these are your four corners of your square. So here's the sides coming. And this square is very important for balance and alignment in dance as well as in life. And I just want us to be conscious of where our weight is and to keep that square as we're moving it from foot to foot. So what you don't want to do is tilt the square or have it misaligned, kind of lose its shape. Thanks, Sona. And so it's as though your square is sliding along a flat surface. And you can also imagine yourself maybe under a low ceiling, so you're not going up and down. And that square is just going to slide. So bring your knees a little, and you're going to push into the ground as you slide your square across that flat surface. And now you're completely over one leg, and you're like a tower of blocks, stacked one on top of the other. So if you need to, you're all awesome. You are all awesome. Thank you for being here. And then you're going to take that square and push into the ground on the leg you're standing on, and slide it over to the other foot. And just be aware, think of that stack of blocks, one on top of the other. So you have this leg has some freedom of movement, and pressing into the ground, and sliding that stack of blocks over here, and over here. Let's slide this one in. Now you're keeping your weight stacked over this foot. You're not putting anything on it. Slide this one in. Lift it up. And if your tower is stacked, you do that. Putting it down, sliding it out, pressing it around like you're standing on, and your block tower is over the other leg. This one is free. Sliding it in. Keeping your tower blocks right over this leg. Pulling it up to balance. And putting it down. Your weight is still on this leg. And just slide to the middle. Full distribution. Press into the ground. Come back up. Give it a shake. Okay. Okay, so tree frog time. I'm going to be squinching up your fingers and your toes, and pretend you're a frog, and you're going to jump and stick to the next tree. So even if you don't feel your feet, I want you to imagine what that feeling is in your toes, and you can try and coordinate it with your fingers, and try and connect your brain to that part of your body. So squinching up, and jumping to the next tree, squinching up, and jumping to the next tree, squinching, and jumping, and jumping, and squinching, and jumping. Shake, and now, let's start from the outside today. I'm going to go pinky, ring, middle, index, thumb, pinky, middle, index, thumb, going outwards, thumb, index, ring, oh, middle, ring, pinky, thumb, index, middle, ring, pinky, wrists, moving back and forth, and up and down. Let's circle them outwards today. And then inwards. Stretch here. And stretch here. And going the opposite way. So as far as muscle movement, not so much joints because joints are more limited, but if you're stretching in one direction, if it's possible to stretch in the other, do that too, because you want to have that increases your range of movement. Okay, so we've been working on various things that are just kind of building blocks for our dance. Hi, Sean. Morning. And these are all, so dance is all about repetition, so we do things thousands and thousands and thousands of times. So I just want to start these exercises so that we are increasing our muscle memory in that part of our body, because when we do some kind of movement, there's lots of things happening at the same time, and it's completely impossible to think about them all in that split second. So if we build some muscle memory in one direction, we'll have one less thing to think about and be conscious of as we're doing movements. So in this one, I want us to relax our arms and feel like they're noodles. Yes, I kind of do teach ballet. I still love it. I still think it's the best basis for anything you do, and it slowly builds strength. You become all over your body. I do very much recommend it. And you're going to take those noodles, and you're going to engage just your elbows. And your elbows are going to pick up your noodles, and then they're going to relax. And elbows picking up your noodles. Try to relax this forearm. And back down again. Picking up your elbows. And down. And picking up your elbows. And relaxing again. Forearm, picking up your elbows. And relaxing. So I want to develop that because that's something that we use a lot in just about any kind of dance. And one of the things that is good to be conscious of is what part of your body is leading the movement. What's kind of the dominant part that is bringing you into that. And very often when we're moving our arms, it is our elbows. In Latin dance, we use that quite a bit. In ballet, and pretty much anything you're doing, your elbows are important, and sometimes it's something that's kind of in the last on the list of our consciousness. And so, on that note, just not worrying too much about that. We're just going to rotate our arms up and down. And here we're just trying to get some rotation in our shoulders. I always exaggerate. Everybody's different. Everybody has different body types and different areas of mobility. So you're going to do it in a way that is comfortable for you. And let's have one last stretch. So we're just going to lean into one leg, give it a good stretch, like you're trying to touch that wall. Way out there. And do the other leg, stretching it way out there. And this time, just relaxing down, rolling over. Hang there a second, relax. And count to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to inhale. And exhale. See if you can go a little lower. Bring your body closer to your feet. Me? No. Now, I never worked in the medical field. I have visited it many times. And of course been to physical therapy. That I found really depends on the therapist. You know, sometimes it's done nothing at all for me. And sometimes, well, I have a miracle worker in Tampa. She's amazing. Her name is Therapeutics. Shout out there, because she's an absolute genius. Even sometimes when I thought, oh my gosh, I'm so injured, I cannot move. Inhaling and exhaling and getting closer to your legs. She has, as I say, it was just amazing. And it's not just me, I've sent other people to her, and it's like she can get inside your body without cutting it open. And her knowledge of kind of how our muscles and fascia and ligaments work is extraordinary, and she manages to do incredible things. Inhaling, exhaling, and relaxing. And rolling. Good. Alright, fireflies. So dance channel, so we have to dance at the end. Been learning merengue, which is right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, 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 right, left, forever. So it's just like you're walking. It's just like you're going from one foot to the other. And important thing is to keep going. Don't stop. So whatever is happening up top or in the room, keep going. Get off the music. Everybody gets off the music sometimes. You'll catch it up again. But there's so as I said in our first get ready for the day routine, so we've got a student, and I was trying to think of different exercises that will break down kind of movement patterns and train them separately. So bear with me. Let's do these. Start doing these exercises, because it takes a lot of repetition to get that muscle up right. And then when we start putting the movement together, you know that your body has those neurological pathways open and has developed them. So let's start with our zombie walk. So what we're going to do is shift. We're going to be walking instead of using our arms to propel ourselves. We're going to be moving like one side and then the other. So we're going to be so to help with this, your weight's going to have to be on one foot to help the other move forward, and then your weight is just kind of in the middle. other foot. Now we're just going to try to walk a couple times back and forth, doing that. So try not to use your shoulders up. So what you want to do is use your lower half to propel yourself forward. And then use your lower half to juke, keep your shoulders down. All right, and we go the other way. And whole half of the body's moving, and the other half. And this half, this half, and this half. All right, I have to go back and forth because otherwise you won't be able to see me. That's it, that's the exercise. So this movement is because depending on how you're trained to walk, at least in our culture, you kind of hinge right here, and you're walking more or less like this, right? So your legs are moving independently of your body more or less, right? So you're staying upright, your body's staying still, and you're walking. So in Latin dance, to a lot of it, it's a little counterintuitive because we're moving like a whole half of the body at the same time, right? So if I'm stepping forward, I'm not stepping and then shifting my weight here. I'm shifting my whole half the body forward. So this is the movement we're going to be aiming for. And I'm stepping here, I'm stepping here, I'm stepping here. Just for example, in bachata, I'm stepping, and my whole body is coming with me. And eventually we're going to be putting things together and moving. We're going to have our hips moving and our body moving, but having that half of your body move together and connect is essential. So that's why we're starting it now. We're going to train that. So when we get to more complicated dances, we'll already have a concept of that movement. We're just basically breaking that down. And do one more before we start. We've done our weight shift already, which is also important. But if you remember, we were swinging our body like a bell. This is another movement that eventually we're going to put together because I'm sure if you've seen people moving in these kind of dances, it looks like there's a lot of hip movement. It's not really your hips that are moving, it's kind of this whole lower half, so we are training that separately as well. So this is the same in ballet. Every day we came, we stood at the bar, we did exercise after exercise after exercise. Even in professional life, that's how your day starts, breaking it down, doing the components separately. So you're gonna have your weight in the middle. Bend your knees a little bit so you have a bigger range of movement. The more you bend your knees, the bigger range you're going to have. And then try and keep your head where it is. You're going to keep your shoulders where they are. And from here down, you're going to swing it like the clapper of a bell. So you're going to take a bell and then boom, boom, boom. So this is staying still. And the bottom half is just going to swing back and forth. And this is eventually going to be part of that whole movement, which is the basis of our salsa, bachata, merengue, cha-cha. Now, ballroom dance is different. We're doing street dance, so it's lower to the ground, it's looser, there's more movement within your body as you're doing it. It's a different style. And I'm all styles, and I'm fascinated by the mechanics. Going back to the middle, pressing the ground, come up. So, and this style I really wanted to learn because it was so far removed from anything I'd done before. The ballet is very formal and up. This is very, a lot of women involved. Okay, third class, so let's dance, it's time. So what we're gonna do is, for just a couple of seconds, we're just gonna shift our weight back and forth. Try to think about your square, but you're just gonna feel your weight going from one leg to the other, not necessarily on the music. And then we're gonna start a merengue, so we're just gonna be walking. And we're gonna move our arms independently of our feet. Important thing is keep those feet going. And we're gonna go forwards, and we're gonna go backwards. And we're gonna be turning in circles. So we're just gonna be rotating very, very slowly. I think it's probably best not to think too hard about that one, but if you like to think hard about things, so you're opening up one foot a little bit, and then you're stepping parallel, opening, parallel, opening, parallel, opening, parallel, opening, parallel. But don't think too hard. I just want you to slowly rotate as you're stepping and smile. Have a little fun. All right, third legs. Let's go. All right, bending your knees. Shifting your weight. Thank you for coming together. I hope you enjoyed it. We are here for you every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And we're also there in between. We've got the next installment of our choreography workshop. I think it's up, or it will be up today. So join us for that. Even if you're just tuning in to have a look, we're so happy you're here. And thank you so much for your support. So my butterflies, I wish you a wonderful rest of your day. I hope you're a little happier now. And my biggest love to you. Bye-bye.